Welcome back to the At Home with Roby show. I'm Ashley Davis along with Trent Haston, President and CEO of the Roby family of companies. We're your hosts. Visit us today at andrewroby.com. That's Andrew, R-O-B-Y.com. Or you can also find us on the WBT.com homepage. So, Trent, before the break, we were talking a little bit about our involvement in charities and the Roby family of companies' commitment to Make-A-Wish of Central and Western North Carolina. We're joined now by Amy Brindley and Katie Barnhart with Make-A-Wish. Amy and Katie, thanks so much for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So, Trent, tell us a little bit about how you got involved with Make-A-Wish and really what Pitching for Wishes is all about.
Well, back in 2008, when I came back from Buffett shareholders meeting and I wrote this crazy business plan to do a cornhole tournament, we had a guy in our company who had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I didn't know that. It's a blood cancer, and he was our PR marketing guy. So when I told him about this idea to do this, and he was sitting there, we interviewed Habitat for Humanity and he interviewed some other charities, and I said, man, it feels right. I had a client that was a leader in the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society at the time. So I said, this is what I want to do. And he said, well, that's what I have. I have a blood cancer. So the first couple years, the cornhole tournament supported LLS. And then with that, I mean, as anything does, it created other opportunities. And I was asked about 2 years later to be on the board of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And at the time, I think I had just had or was pregnant. My wife, Reagan, was pregnant with our second daughter. So every child that has cancer or a blood cancer, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, should have the availability to have a wish. Is that correct, Amy?
Yeah.
So it was a perfect fit.
Yeah.
So I justified it, and I thought it was going to be a great way to teach my kids as they grew older. And we switched and started 100% supporting the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I joined the board, and I think for the last 6 years we've supported the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So it's great. It's an awesome tool to teach my family and for our company. Our company is a family-oriented company. We're Roby Family Companies, and we have kids. And I mean, every kid with a life-threatening illness should have the opportunity to be granted a wish, correct?
That's right.
So Amy and Katie, everybody I think probably out there listening has heard of Make-A-Wish. You see it on the news. You see what you guys are doing for children who are in those situations. Can you just elaborate a little bit more on what you guys do and what your mission is really all about?
Sure. I think, when we ask people, what do you think Make-A-Wish does? Usually they say, well, you grant wishes for terminal kids. And I say, well, part of that is right. We do grant wishes for children, and the wishes are to bring hope, strength, and joy to their lives at a time they need it most, but it's to children with life-threatening medical conditions. So our mission changed about 15 years ago from terminal to life-threatening, and it's still something that we really want to get out in the community as an education point. Because there's so many amazing treatments right now for children with cancer and cardiac illnesses and transplants. Children are surviving their diseases, and that's the ultimate goal. And we look at a wish as a part of that treatment protocol. It's going to help those children get through what they're going through, or those children that don't end up living through their illness. It provides that family and that child a memory that they will have forever. So it really is a vital part of our community. It's a vital part of treatment. And we really feel that a wish is as important as any of those things.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. Trent, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Amy, part of our responsibility of being on the board is to grant wishes. And Reagan looked at me a couple years after being on the board, and I had been involved in some wishes, and she said, hey, you need to get out there and grant some wishes because you're such a good storyteller. It'll help you tell your story. And I did that. And what I really love, and I sell this, I mean, now I'm able to sell it, but what I love about Make-A-Wish is what it does for the family, what the medicine is for the family. This family's been, focused and really in a spiral over this one child, if they have multiple children, or even if it's their only child, just focused on healing this child. And it really, I think the medicine to the family is my favorite thing about granting a wish. Mm-hmm. So,
can you maybe share a couple of one or two local stories that people might be aware of, and really how that's impacted the family and changed that child's life?
Absolutely. I'll let Katie kind of tackle that. We've had some really fantastic wishes lately.
Yeah, we just had one recently, a Panther's wish. Sammy, her name. She's from our eastern region of the state, but she came in. She wanted to meet Cam Newton and hang out with the the Panthers players. So the Panthers did an amazing job setting up a great weekend for her. She was able to go bowling with them. She got to go shopping because she was going to be attending a gala event that weekend as well. And she just had an amazing time. Her two brothers and her sister came along with her mom, and it really was just a life-changing experience for all of them, and for us as well. We were able to go to the gala with her and watch her get dressed up and have this wonderful time with the Panthers players. So it really was an inspirational thing for us as the staff, and then also for the family. It was just something that they really needed, a great relief, a time to kind of step away from the disease and focus on something really special. So
that's phenomenal. When you see a kid react like that, it really gives you some perspective of why you're doing what you're doing. And we're going to talk more in a minute about Pitching for Wishes and the Roby family's involvement in that. But just real quick, how can people, if there's somebody out there listening that might want to get involved or might actually have a child that would need to benefit from the services of Make-A-Wish, how can they connect with you guys?
Our website's probably the easiest way, nc.wish.org. You can get referrals on there. You can learn about how to get involved in our efforts. You can always call our office, 704-339-0334. But the website's a great tool to be able to kind of connect with us, especially from a referral perspective, which right now that's what we're doing. We want to reach as many children as possible. So getting those inquiries, getting those referrals in, and seeing if your child qualifies is really important for us and a focus.
That's fantastic. And Trent, so we've mentioned Pitching for Wishes and how you started that tournament and where that was the genesis of that. What does that mean for you as a business owner and a member of the community to be able to give that back to when you hear these stories of kids receiving those types of?
Oh man, I mean, I think over our tenure of doing Pitching for Wishes, I think that's been the name, but every year our PR marketing guy, Gary Hickson, comes up with a little different slogan. but I think during that time, a wish has cost approximately $6,000. Is that right, Amy?
That's correct.
So, I mean, the number of wishes that we've been able to grant, $6,000 every year. I mean, it just means so much to be able to spend that to the community in Charlotte and to let them know what we're doing by everybody pitching in, all the businesses. I call it our all-star team that supports the Pitching for Wishes.
Yeah.
I wear the shirts. I have now 7 different shirts, 7 different color shirts, and every year I mean it's a different all-star team, but it's usually the same guys show up at the party. Mm-hmm. So
I just did some quick math on the iPhone. That's 133 wishes,
right,
roughly, based on what you guys have raised up to this
133 point. Times what? 800?
No, 133 wishes times 6,000 get you to the number that you guys have raised that we'll talk about in a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're keeping that a secret.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
it's a big number we're going to hit.
I think
we're
I said it earlier.
We're going to make people stay through the break.
I think I said it earlier
right.
when I was a kid 8 years ago. I said one day we will have raised $100,000 in 10 years, and I think we've surpassed that.
I think you're going to surpass that by a little bit.
You've surpassed that. So we'll talk more in a few minutes about the specifics of the event, but it's the 8th annual Pitching for Wishes Cornhole Tournament. Benefits Make-A-Wish of Central and Western North Carolina, and it's on Saturday, September the 19th at Freedom Park. So what have you seen from the event and your involvement so far? It's got to be an exciting day.
It is. I mean, it's incredible to have partners like the Roby family of companies. We are a large organization. People know who Make-A-Wish is, but we are a local organization. All the money we raise is in the 51 counties that we serve. All the wishes we grant are in the 51 counties we serve. So to have significant partners like Roby is unique.
Yeah.
And you would think there would be a lot more of them. So it's a true partnership. When we are out there at the Cornhole Tournament, it's like a family. I mean, we really feel like we're a part of each other's families. And supporting each other. And every year I see the same people come back and new people.
That's fantastic.
And it's just exciting to meet everybody and thank them and for them to understand the impact that they're having in this community through getting involved.
When we come back from this next break, we're going to talk more about the actual event. Real quick, what's the website again and the phone number if people need to get in touch with you?
For Make-A-Wish, it's nc.wish.org, and our phone number is 704-339-0334 here in the Charlotte area.
That is fantastic. Thanks, Amy. Stay with us. You're listening to the At Home with Roby show. When you're listening out there, you can always go to the website, andrewroby.com. We'll be back in just a minute with Amy and Katie, and we'll talk more about the Pitching for Wishes Cornhole Tournament that's coming up in September. Stay with us.